Hello, Rick Wilson.
Hello, Molly Jong-Fast.
First of all, you should go on YouTube right now because we are wearing costumes,
Yes, you should.
okay? And I am wearing horns,
She's
uh,
Krampusing, and
Rick
I'm wearing
is,
the jolly Santa hat.
which he debuted on his podcast,
I did,
and
I did. I
I
rocked the
asked for.
podcast the other night, and now she insisted, so here we are. We're
That's
playing
right.
dress up for you guys.
Yeah, so come onto our YouTube channel right
Like
now
and
if you
subscribe.
like and subscribe and leave a comment. Tell your friends. But right now, Jesse Cannon, our long-suffering producer, is about to play a clip from Donald Trump's rally about affordability. I'm going to guess that this clip is not about affordability.
Ding, ding, ding.
Not let them get away with this stuff. We have all the evidence now. We have all the evidence, and we have to do something about it. We have to do something about it. It's illegal and it's disgusting. You know, I brought a lawsuit, and I'm winning the lawsuit. There's only one problem. I'm the one that has to settle it. In other words, I am suing, and I'm the one that's supposed to settle it. So maybe I'll give myself $1 billion and give it all to charity. Does that make sense? You know, I'll give it to charity. Do you have any nice charities? I have to settle the lawsuit. There's never been a case like this. Donald Trump sues the United States of America. Donald Trump becomes president, and now Donald Trump has to settle the suit. I hereby give myself $1 billion. Actually, maybe I shouldn't give it to charity. Maybe I should keep the money. No, a lot of people say do it. No, I don't want to do it. But whatever happens, it's all going to good charities. Is that okay? It's all going to good charities. But isn't that a strange position to be in? I've got to make a deal. I negotiate with myself.
Whatever he's getting, I'm a psychic here. I think he's going to keep it.
I'm gonna guess, much like Donald Trump for the entire time he's been president, first term and now, who says, "I'm donating my salary to charity." He never does. You know, there is a way to settle that lawsuit, which is to drop it.
Nah.
Nah.
Nah. Let's just talk about how positively batshit this whole thing is. Was meant to be a rally on affordability. Here's what was not discussed. Affordability.
Affordability.
Here's what was discussed. Marjorie Taylor Greene. He calls her Marjorie Trader Brown.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I heard that one, yeah, and I'm also intrigued how she's suddenly a leftist.
A wild leftist,
A wild
Marjorie
leftist, yes.
Trader Greene. Again, it has been a really bad week for Trump. And I think we need to just, this is our last episode before Christmas, our last live episode. We have vacation episodes coming up. But since it's our last live episode before Christmas, I would like to go down a list of the ways in which MAGA is imploding.
Because it is a long, delicious list.
It is a fulsome list. I would like you to start. Let's start with Epstein redaction files.
It's working out great so far. The Streisand effect is in full order here. Like, the more you try to hide something in the age of the internet, the more people pay attention to it. So
they had a month.
And the redactions are at such a level that even stuff that's already been released by prior court cases and by the House and everything else, they've redacted the hell out of it. You can see how much where all that overtime went to pay those FBI agents to redact Trump's name.
I want to talk about the Michael Jackson photo with Diana Ross.
So weird, but yeah.
They redacted the faces of the children, but they're Michael's children.
Right. And one's Diana Ross's child and the others are Michael's children. But they did that to something that is a stock photo available from Getty that you could look up. They did it because their entire goal here was to try to frame out anyone on the left as the center of the Epstein story.
Right.
And anybody from corporate America and anybody from Trump's universe and Trump himself, Jeff who? I never knew him.
Leon Black. No pictures of Leon Black.
Weird how no pictures of Leon Black, a guy who went to the island repeatedly, all this other stuff.
Who's been paying Jeff Epps hundreds of millions of dollars.
Who said to pay hundreds of, like, 250 million, whatever it is. There's some huge number of settlements from his bank because he was Jeffrey Epstein's guy.
But you know what they're pictures of? Bill Clinton. And you know what I
Sure.
have to say as the big Democrat in this conversation? I don't
Oh,
give a
well.
fuck. Lock
You're
him
right.
up. All
Oh,
right.
well, fine,
He's not
whatever.
okay.
Yeah, whatever.
But we want
Call
to
him,
see
make him a
everyone
witness. Go
else
ahead.
too.
Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this is, and as Ro Khanna was very clear about, and Massey's been very clear about, this bill did not say you can redact at whim. It
Mhm.
had some exceptions directly and solely, I think, for child sexual exploitative material. Nobody wants pictures of kids having sex with Epstein. Nobody wants that.
Right.
Fine, redact it. But the redactions are at such a scope and level, and the things they have not released are also violating this law. And I know it's unfashionable in America to believe that the law has to be followed in the Trump administration, but the statute of limitations for all you morons in the Trump administration who think you're being cute is way after Trump will be in the ground, turning into fertilizer.
But also, I think this is really important. There were pictures that were put up on the website and then
Oh,
taken
yes.
down
Correct.
because one of the hallmarks of Trump world is incompetence. Discuss.
Correct. This is a gang that can't shoot straight.
Mhm.
And so they went through this and spent months and millions redacting his name, blanking out his image, basically sending out pages entirely of black redaction marks, and yet they still missed a lot. By the way, one of the things that we know from folks who understand the size of the corpus of material we're dealing with, they've only released a very small fraction of what they have at the FBI and the DOJ. So what they put out still had leaks in it. It still had pictures of Trump, Trump's name, descriptions of Trump. This one girl telling the story about Trump, like, biting this other girl's nipples until they were bleeding, all this disgusting
Right.
shit. And I'm not saying that was illegal, I'm just saying it's creepy. But then once that was discovered, oh, that's magically suddenly taken off the website.
Right. No,
Nothing
the
else has disappeared from the materials that we know of, except things related to Trump. What a coincidence. I mean, God bless Pam Bondi. I know she's dumb as a bag of hammers in a lot of ways. And the guy that they brought in to be the this guy,
Todd Blanche.
no, the Seth somebody or another to actually be the king of the redactions. This guy doesn't understand. He's about to get thrown under the fucking bus. He better be ready to sit in front of Congress for the rest of his fucking life.
So let's talk about Pam Bondi because I want to talk about an Atlas poll that had Pam Bondi's favorability in February at +6, okay?
Mhm.
Fast forward to December, you know what her favorability was?
-9,000.
-41.
That
That's
would be
a 47-point swing.
that's a big swing. In polling, just not to get too far into the technical weeds, 47 points, a big swing.
Yeah. So the question is, if you're Donald Trump and you're looking at what is clearly at best a shitstorm, at worst a shitstorm,
And worse, a shitstorm with massive legal penalties attached to it.
what would be the play there?
Listen, the problem is they've already committed the crime. And this is not, by the way, folks, one of these things where it's a disagreement about executive power. This is black letter law that was passed by the Congress, signed by the president. It is well within the scope of the constitutional Article 1 powers of Congress to obtain this material. The executive branch is now in open defiance and open contempt. There is no unringing this bell of stupidity. They have fucked it up. They have made a giant mistake. That giant mistake is not going to be one you could just hand wave away and go, oh, well, never mind. Never mind. No big deal.
So there are all these redacted files. I'm sure the polling on this is going to be terrible.
Oh,
Waited
yeah.
to the last minute, just really fucked up again. I want to talk about this weekend. Turning Point USA pretty much exploded into fisticuffs. Discuss.
First off, I have to say, I'm very concerned as a conservative economics thinker about the national debt. We could have sold pay-per-view to watch Tucker Carlson and Ben Shapiro have a slap fight this weekend at Turning Point USA over the future of the movement. We could have had a slap fight, or sort of could have sold pay-per-view to Erica Kirk mistakenly calling her own kid a grifter. We could have had it was the biggest meltdown you could have imagined. It really shows that the cracks in MAGA are deeper and more vicious and wider than we thought. I mean, they are there basically. You've got Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson defending the honor of Candace Owens. It's like the most fucked up version of Jane Austen alternate universe you've ever imagined. How dare you, sir, besmirch the good name of my lady? You know, it's just
Right. Oh, it's
bonkers
hideous.
how
Yeah.
crazy they are. And, I know Erica's still in her official mourning period, but did she always walk out to fireworks?
I just think, look, what is so interesting about this is you have a party that opened the door to anti-Semitism and
Yeah,
racism, and now they don't understand why the base is so attracted to Nick Fuentes
right.
and anti-Semitism and racism.
You've got Ben Shapiro acting like this Tucker Carlson situation just emerged out of nowhere. My God, what a shock. No, no, Ben. No, 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 Ben. You, bro, were part of it. You were part of enabling that. You
Yeah.
hired and paid Candace Owen, I don't know, probably millions of dollars. Tucker Carlson was out there doing what he's doing now with this white replacement gig, and it's gotten
Always.
worse and worse and worse. When he was still at Fox, I didn't see Ben Shapiro out leaping up out of the stands going, "How dare you, sir?" It's like Trump's stupid poem about the snake. They knew the snake was there. They invited the snake in. And the snake is raw anti-Semitism, raw racial politics, all this insane conspiracy crap. They knew what they were buying, but they
Yeah.
still bought it.
Yeah. I want to talk about Erica Kirk for a minute. Do you
If we
think
must.
if if you were Erica Kirk, would you immediately endorse JD Vance? Like that seems like your power is not endorsing,
You know, that to me was like land war in Asia level stupid.
right?
It never gets better for JD Vance than it does at this moment. Every one of these other
Correct.
snakes wants to come in there, and JD Vance will be knifed to little itty bitty pieces at some point by these other people. And her, unless the whole fantasy that somehow she's gonna he's gonna that JD's gonna leave his wife and marry Erica Kirk. Okay, fine. Ha ha. No. But he's not the guy.
But also you have this power, right? Which is you
Right.
should have everyone coming to you proving that they are the heir apparent. One of the things that we saw with Vance when he ran for Senate in Ohio, what we've seen before again and again with him, he's a terrible candidate. He's not good at this.
Right.
He doesn't have good political instincts.
No.
He's not charming. He doesn't, he's done just about as badly as anyone with this job.
Yeah. And there's a degree of JD Vance's negative charisma. Let's just call it what it is. He is kind of an odd guy.
He
He's kind
wears
of a weirdo.
eyeliner. Unless there's something wrong with his eyes, he wears eyeliner.
Yes, correct.
And
And
so either he has eyeliner disease, it's
which
possible,
I guess is possible.
or he wears eyeliner. Both very strange.
Both very strange. And Vance is strange.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about American presidential candidates that we don't elect weirdos,
Except Trump.
except Trump. But Trump had other
He was
aspects to
very
his
charming.
to his charisma and his celebrity from The Apprentice. And look, I also have a feeling one of the things we're starting to see in this MAGA crack up, it's also partly about, does your relationship to Trump help you? Does it make it dispositive in the end that you're going to be absolutely taken care of? I can point you to my favorite MAGA crack up of the week, and that is the humiliating political death, the
Oh, I know what you're
absolute
about to
political death
say.
of Elise Stefanik, the Gretchen Wieners of American politics. Not only did
Mhm.
Trump not endorse her
Yeah.
for governor after she has repeatedly humiliated herself for him in public, and
Right.
taken positions that disqualified her from winning governor
Yeah.
of New York. She quit politics this week, folks. She quit. She's like, "Nope, not running for governor. I'm out."
Yeah.
And believe
Yeah.
me, does she show up on a network someday? Probably. But honestly, and somebody the other day tweeted, she made the fatal mistake of not being blonde in Trump's world.
But it's also, what about Marjorie Taylor Greene? Like, there are two women,
Mhm.
there's two of Trump's biggest congressional defenders are
Right.
leaving Congress.
Correct. And if you take them
And
from if you take them from the MAGA firebrand conspiracist category of MTG and the normie Republicans who, quote, "saw the light for Trump," with Stefanik, that represents a really broad spectrum in the
yeah.
Republican party.
One term in the Senate was too much for Wyoming's own Cynthia Loomis,
Yeah,
crypto trader, quad
crypto
person,
crypto trader, stock trader. I guess she's gonna cash out and go day trade. I don't know, but
lobby for data farms,
could be
like
because
Kristen Sinema.
could be. I was just gonna say because just like the highly principled Democratic former member, Kristen Sinema, apparently that's the Full Employment Act for former members of Congress now is data centers. Which, by the way, I was told data centers get to insist to states on the purity of their water, but states can't insist on the purity of water for people. That's gotta come
No,
from the federal government.
no.
Intriguing.
Intriguing. Data centers, I'm just glad that my electricity bill can go up so I can pay for Elon's data center.
Elon, who's
Because
now worth $780 billion.
what's really good if you're the richest person in the world is to make normal people pay for your electricity.
Don't worry, Elon, nobody's out there ever gonna figure out what pitchforks, torches, or tumbrils are. Nobody's
By the
gonna
way,
figure it out.
this crew is so short-sighted.
Mhm.
Like, they're like, "I'm the richest guy in the world, and this will never
Yeah, this
never
the
change.
and this will never turn. Nothing will
Never,
change. I will
never,
always be
ever."
here, and people love me.
And, that socialist in Manhattan, that's just it's just what a
Just a freaky coincidence.
related to nothing,
Right, apropos
probably.
of nothing. By the way,
Yeah.
Molly, I did notice one thing, about New York. I know you were worried about feeling lonely because everyone was gonna move out, but apparently, according to the statistics, no one has left.
Yeah, I'm still waiting. Look, man, I had Bill de Blasio as a mayor, so I I
You had
don't
Eric
believe
Adams as a
this is a
mayor.
mayor. By the way, like, the New York Post is, like, so into Eric Adams, so
What
many
is that?
Democrats endorsed him. He was always, like, there was never a moment where anyone thought, like, "This guy's gonna be great."
Right, right. I mean,
Never, ever,
never.
ever.
Never.
Rick Wilson, will you come back after the holiday if
You know
there
I
ever
will.